Well, hello there, Internet. I am here doing a Theros Draft. Looking at a pack here, which doesn't have really anything that I would consider great in it. Um, Kind of hard to know which direction you should take when you're looking at kind of a mediocre pack like this. Farika's Cur is fine. Essien Courser is pretty good for a 3 drop. This guy's pretty fun. Vaporkin may be the best card. I do like Fnatic Amogus. Red's not that good though, and I kind of like Temple of Abandon. I think I'm going to take Centaur Battlemaster. It's not a great card, but it's a pretty fun card, and it can get really big, and sometimes that's just an enjoyable thing to try to do. Um, in this pack, Lightning Strike stands out as like a really good pick. Um, I mean, red's not a great card, but this is a good card to splash. Beyond that, there's not really anything here that I'm like excited to take. I would play this card. It's really decent with this, even though it's a 5 drop. And the two green cards are mediocre at best. Whoever this was took a rare, so there's no real color signaling here. But yeah, I'm going to take Lightning Strike. Okay. With this pack, um, the Staunch-Hearted Warrior is an okay green card. Blue card wise, this Prescient Chimera, which Channel Fireball guys call Scrymera, is pretty good. Mogus's Marauder's quite good. Cutthroat Maneuver's a pretty decent card. Goes pretty well with Centaur Battlemaster. Actually goes really well with Centaur Battlemaster. But I'm just going to go ahead and take Prescient Chimera. Does give us another 5 drop, but it's quite a powerful one. Um, yeah, let's see where we end up here. Okay. Um, Looking at this pack, we have a Farrakhan's Cure, which is uh, a good pickup if you're in black. Disciple of Phoenix, which is another good card if you are heavily black. Wavecrash Triton, which is pretty decent. But I'm gonna take Farrakhan's Mender, even though it is yet another color, because it's quite good if you end up green-black. I'm gonna have a lot of 5 drops, but you know, whatever. Here, I'll just take this Nessian Courser. The best card in the pack is probably Hopeful Eidolon. Um, it's unclear to me whether Lash of the Whip is just better than Nessian Courser. Um, but I haven't really seen a whole lot of very good white cards, so I don't quite know why Hopeful Eidolon is left over in the pack. Um, and we do have a Farrakhan's Mender, so maybe Lash of the Whip is better. But Nessian Courser gives us a really good 3 drop, or even if you don't want to call it good, at least a reasonable 3 drop to help with this curve. Since whatever colors we end up in, we're gonna have 5 drops right at the beginning. So yeah, 3 drop. Here I'm probably gonna take this Time to Feed. It's a pretty good removal card in green, and it also happens to go really well with Centaur Battlemaster. I mean, it's just a solid piece of removal in the green deck period. But when you have a guy that gets 3+1/+1 counters for targeting him, having a card that targets him and fights another creature is pretty cool. Almost Speaker is actually really good. You need a 2 drop because there are some aggressive decks in the format, and even though 1/3 is nothing to write home about, you just might want something like that to help smooth out your draws and do some early blocking. But I'm going to go ahead and take Time to Feed because uh, although nothing's completely clear at this moment, green looks like we may end up uh, in some amount of green. Could play this Crackling Triton. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this Mnemonic Wall. I think the card is better in more decks, and yeah. This is the best card left in this pack. Return Phalanx. Um, it's decent in any black deck just as a blocker, but it's quite good in blue. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and take this Coastline Chimera. It seems like the most likely card that we'd play here, and it's not bad. From our original pack, we got back Vaporkin, which I thought would be gone just because it seemed like the most powerful card in the pack. and I think that there's two or three Coastline Chimeras coming up, so I'm definitely not losing anything by passing that. I'm just going to go ahead and take this Vaporkin. And here's what I'm talking about. There's that second Coastline Chimera. Could pick that up. It's pretty good, but I'm going to take this Omen's Peaker just to help with the curve. If we do end up blue-green, I think it'll be fine. Of these, this is probably the card that we would get the most use out of, but I'm going to take Fate Foretold. It's good with Centaur Battlemaster, and, I don't know where this deck's going to end up, but the card's not bad. It draws you a card when it comes into play, and when the creature enchants dies. I'm going to take this Gainsay. It's a good one. I don't really like where this deck's at. We're in blue, but we don't even have the cards that make blue good, like Voyage's End and Griptide. But it's not like we passed them, we just didn't see them. So the second pack is really going to have to influence what direction this pack goes. We just need to pick up something good. Probably can't play Farrakhan's Mender, probably can't play Lightning Strike, but looks like we're going to have to play blue because that's where the majority of our good picks are. We don't want to play Gainsay main, so I'm going to take that out. And several of these cards I don't really want to play main, but I will. Okay, pack 2, we end up with a very good pack full of cards for just about everybody at the table. The rare's decent in green. It's a heroic card that makes 3 lands into 2/2s, which is very powerful indeed. You can just win on the spot because that's a lot of attacking power. In this pack, we also have the best white common, Winged Steed Rider, and the best black common, arguably, Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Although this card is really only insane in the mono black deck. Did I say black? I don't know. Anyway, whatever. And then there's also Cavern Lampad for black, which is very good. This Dragon Mantle is a really good card in the red deck, the heroic deck. And I really like Burnished Heart. The card's awesome. I would even be happy to take this Dissolve. But I'm going to go ahead and take Enthusa, Setessan Hero. I think we do want to try to be green-blue, so I'm happy to take that guy. This is a very powerful card, too. I'm not quite sure if I should just be taking this Lightning Strike to sort of hedge. It is a pretty good card. I could try to pick up like a couple ways to splash. I could also just go ahead and take Triton Fortune Hunter because I know I'll play it. No, I'll take the Lightning Strike here. I haven't been picking up any black cards. I mean, this card's really good. Maybe I should blue-black. But if I was going to take a black card, I don't know which one of these I would take. Probably the Baleful Eidolon. I'm just going to take this Lightning Strike. This is a weird draft. Yeah, like here's Hopeful Eidolon again. I don't know. I'm going to take Dissolve because it fits really well in our deck. But it's impossible to say where we should be going here. Like maybe I should take Rage of Perforos and just have red removal with blue junk. But I'm going to take the Dissolve. Okay, there are 2 insane cards for me here, Thassa's Emissary and Nessian Asp, and I'm not even sure which is the right pickup. They're both just super strong in this deck. There's also a Stone Shock Giant, which is a crazy good card. Nessian Asp is just bonkers. Tough pick. I feel like I'm going to take the Thassa's Emissary because I already have like 4 playable. I'm going to hide this card. 4 playable blue and green 5-drops. So the Nessian Asp, even though it's better than any of these, is probably less important to us than a 4-drop. This is a tough call though. But yeah, I'm going to take Thassa's Emissary. And then we get a pack which has nothing in it. It kind of makes you wish that one of the cards from the previous pack would have been passed over here. I kind of think I'm going to take Psychic Intrusion. Alright, what do we have here? We've got an Agent of Horizons, which, is pretty good right in the 2 colors that we're playing. Pretty decent sideboard card, an okay 4-drop, and a Guardians. But I think I'm going to take this Agent of Horizons. I'll play that card. I mean, it's going to end up in our deck, so I'm happy to have it. I don't really want any of these cards. I guess I can take Breaching Hippocamp if we do end up short on playables, it's a card that I could play. I could also play Stymied Hopes, but I already have one of those and a Dissolve, so I don't really know that I need a third counter spell, especially if it's going to be mediocre. So yeah, I'll take Breaching Hippocamp. Here we have a choice between another Omen Speaker, an Aqueous form, which is pretty good, or an Ordeal of Thassa. Um, Ordeal of Thassa is the best of those cards in an aggressive deck, but it's phenomenally bad if I'm not the aggressor. And I mean, if you just look at our creatures, it doesn't look like there's anything aggressive about what we're doing. Aqueous form could be good on something like the Centaur Battlemaster. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and take Ordeal of Thassa. It's probably the worst of the cards for our deck, but it's also the most unlikely that we see another copy of it ever. So here we have to choose between a second Dissolve or a second Omen Speaker. I'm actually not sure which one of these is better for our deck. Our creature count's pretty low. We can also take Unknown Shores to help splash Lightning Strike. I'm just going to take Dissolve. I don't know if that's right. Here, this shouldn't be in the pack anymore. I don't really want a Benthic Giant or a Ferrospan Centaurs, so I'm going to take this. It's got to be wrong to take that card, but I'm going to do it anyway. Here, I'll take Bronze Table. Sometimes you need to side that in against certain decks. And I mean, I might as well take the card that's on color. Just taking the playables out of each pack here at this point. So we're not playing Cetessan Battle Priest. But everything else here, well, we're not playing Psychic Intrusion. And let's be honest, we're not playing Shipwreck Singer unless we open some insane black card. Like that. We have to take this card because it's worth tickets. Hold on, I'm going to look up how many tickets it is. So yeah, it's worth like 4 or 5 tickets. So we're clearly going to take Hero's Downfall here. If we weren't taking Hero's Downfall, I'd probably be tempted to take this Horizon Chimera. He's pretty decent. 3/2 flyer that gains us some life when we draw cards. But yeah, Hero's Downfall seems good. Here, I think it's going to be Nimbus Naiad. That card's quite good. Wouldn't mind having this guy, but we don't have that much green. So I'm going to take Nimbus Naiad and use that. Let's unhide everything here. So, hide these basics. Hide white. Let's hide the red for now. So, if we were to play the black, and not the green, we'd be losing 5 cards. Kind of depends on what we pick up here. Could pick up a third Lightning Strike. Try just being blue-red. Well, I don't really like Breaching Hippocamp, and I don't like Aqueous Form. I do like Volpine Goliath. And I actually do like Ferris Band Centaurs, but I don't think we really need it right now. But I don't necessarily like Volpine Goliath in every deck. This deck seems like it actually does want to just sort of dirtle around until we hit 6 mana. But I think I'm just going to take Lightning Strike. Gosh, we may actually be just blue-red. And I mean, like, just barely red. Yeah, I'm going to take this Griptide. It'd be awesome if this Wave Crash Triton wheeled, but Griptide is just a really perfect card for this deck. Here, I could take Erebos' Emissary. This is crazy, but I could end up... Let's see what happens if we hide green. Let's hide this. Hide this. Now hide green. We have almost enough playables. So we can take this other Chimera. And, geez, we may end up blue-red. That'd be crazy. Like, here's a Lash. Like, I just don't know what we were supposed to be color-wise. It's possible that blue-black would have been the best choice. I'm going to take this Coastline Chimera, though, and Just see if we can't be blue-red. So Rage of Perforos is not bad. Arena Athlete is fine, although it's not really doing a whole lot in our deck. But I think I'm going to take this Rage of Perforos and just sort of play blue-red. Here's a Shipwreck Singer. Um, I picked that up. It's possible that I make some different choices here. Crackling Triton versus a third Prescient Chimera. I suppose versus a Null. I don't really want to play Lost in the Labyrinth. So curve-wise, I've got very little in the way of two or three drop creatures, and I just don't see how this deck wins. It's gonna be a tough one. I'll take this Fate Foretold. Here, I'm gonna take Aqueous Form just because we may actually just need to figure out a way to just slam through with stuff, but see what happens here. I'll take this guy, he can block. Priest of Iroas. Just commune with the gods here. Um, yeah, I don't know that our deck really is anything. I'm pretty excited to figure out which colors I want to play. We are losing out on some interesting creatures if we don't play the green. I think Lightning Strike's good. I don't know if it's like don't play decent creatures because you have Lightning Strike's good, but so what do we lose out on from green? Two good 3 drops, a decent removal spell, and a couple 5 drops. That's not much. Um, Whereas we get 3 Lightning Strikes and a Rage of Perforos from the red. I think that's fine. Probably end up playing that. Don't really like Breaching Hippocamp. I guess I could play it. Don't want Gainsay, obviously. So let's figure out what we're doing here. Thassa's Bounty, let's just cut that right off the bat. So we got this for removal. Removal. Sort of removal. This is a nothing spell. Nothing, nothing. Bad counter spell. Removal. Nothing. So this is our creatures. If we switch it up and play black instead of red, we lose access to 3 Lightning Strikes and a Rage. We get access to a Hero's Downfall, 2 Shipwreck Singers, and a Psychic Intrusion, which is fine. And then we could play like Guardians of Miletus for the 4th card, or Vapor. Well, why did I put Vaporkin on the sideboard? Something went wrong there. It's just that there's only 11 creatures. Well, I guess we're more of a control deck, so maybe that's okay. I'm actually going to try the deck like this. I just don't know how we're going to win. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what happens with this deck. Definitely want more than 3 friggin' mountains. That's crazy. I think we can get away with 6. We'll probably get away with a lot less. With like 5. But I don't think we need that much blue either. Like the only thing we need more than 1 blue for is the Frisian Chimeras and the Dissolves. 11's fine. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to try this deck out shortly. We'll see what happens. Thank you for watching.